Hey guys, as you probably already know, there are some words in English that sound very similar or even identical but have different meanings. Even native speakers sometimes make mistakes when they spell some of these words, but for us non-native speakers, these words can be a nightmare. Okay, I might be exaggerating a little, but they are indeed confusing. That's why in this video, I'll share with you 6 pairs of words that have the same or similar pronunciation, but mean something totally different. Honestly, now I'm used to them, but in the beginning, when I started speaking English, I used to think twice before saying some of them out loud. Okay, the first pair of words is effect and effect. Even native speakers confuse these words because they actually sound the same. Both of them are pronounced with a schwa sound in the first syllable, effect. I have a special technical footnote for the purists among you. The pronunciations of effect and effect differ in some dictionaries in the first and unstressed vowels, the lax I as in kid, and the schwa, the unstressed neutral sound. However, in this video, I show the pronunciation after the weak vowel merger in certain states, where the lax I and the schwa are pronounced in the same way. Effect with an E in the beginning is usually used as a noun. It is the change that comes as a consequence of an action. For instance, if you stay in the sun for several hours, the effect will be your burned skin. Another example is exercise has a positive effect on the body. Effect with an A in the beginning is a verb, and it means to impact or change something or someone. For example, exercise will affect your body in a positive way. As you can see from the examples, you can use both words in a similar context, but make sure to use each one of them in the correct way. Actually, you don't have to worry too much when you pronounce them because, as I said, they sound the same, but you will need to be a little more careful when you use them in writing. The next pair of words that might be confusing is suite and suite. A suite is a number of connected rooms in a hotel. It's larger than just a regular room, and it usually has a separate bedroom and living room. For example, I love this hotel. I stayed in a beautiful suite last time I was there. A suit is an outfit consisting of 2 or more matching parts, usually pants or a skirt, combined with a jacket or a blazer. An example in a sentence would be, I got a new job at a bank and I have to wear a suit to work every day now. Although they are pronounced differently, what messes up with our brains here is the spelling. You can see that there is only one letter difference, an E at the end of sweet, but this letter is not pronounced anyway. What's different is the vowel. Sweet is pronounced exactly like sweet as in I like my coffee sweet. It has the high and tense vowel E as in the words sheep and beach. Suit is pronounced with the high and tense vowel U, the same vowel that it's in the words smooth and soon. So keep in mind that the vowels in these two words, sweet and suit, are different even though it's not obvious from the spelling. The next pair of words that baffles many non-native speakers is costume and custom. Costume is a set of clothes that are typical to a particular country or culture. People usually wear costumes during cultural celebrations. Actors can also wear costumes when they perform. Probably the most popular day when many people wear costumes is Halloween. Here are some example sentences. Hey, do you remember who the costume designer for this movie was? What costume are you going to wear for Halloween? Custom is a traditional way of behaving that is specific to a particular society, time, or place. For example, I like the old Bulgarian custom of holding hands and dancing in a circle. Or, I always try to respect the customs of the country I travel to. Now, let's talk about the pronunciation. Although to many non-native speakers these two words seem the same, they actually sound quite different to native speakers. Again, this is because of the difference in the vowels. Costume is pronounced as ka-stoom. The first vowel, a, is the same as in the word father, while the second vowel, u, is the vowel that appears in the word food. Custom, on the other hand, has 2 completely different vowels. The first one, a, is the same vowel that is used in the word cup and the second one is a schwa, a reduced vowel that appears in most non-stressed syllables. To practice, you can take a mirror and watch your lips. Costume, custom, costume, custom. Another confusing pair of words is receipt and recipe. These words also give many people a hard time because they look similar at first glance. But as you've probably guessed by now, they have a different meaning and are also pronounced differently. Receipt is the piece of paper that a person receives after paying for something. For example, when you go grocery shopping, the cashier gives you your receipt after you pay. You can say, "Could you please email me the receipt for this purchase?" Or, "I'd like to return this dress, but I forgot my receipt at home." Recipe is a set of instructions that you follow when you cook something new. For example, if you like the cake you had at your friend's house, you can ask her for the recipe. You can say, "This is delicious. Would you share the recipe with me?" Okay, now let's talk about the pronunciation of these two words. What's important to know is that receipt has two syllables, receipt, while recipe has three, recipe. Also, notice that the P in receipt is silent. It's not receipt, but receipt. Many non-native speakers try to pronounce each letter they see, but English is not a phonetic language. This means that how words are spelled is not how they are pronounced. The vowel in the first syllable of receipt is a schwa, and the vowel in the second syllable is a tense E, the same one that we have in the word sheep. Although the spelling in the beginning of the word recipe is the same, the vowel is pronounced differently. While the first two letters R-E in receipt are pronounced as R with a schwa, the same first letters R-E in recipe are pronounced as re, with the front middle vowel e as in the color red. In recipe, we have a schwa in the second syllable and the high tense E in the third syllable, recipe. Also, do you hear that the word stress is different? Receipt is stressed on the second syllable, seed, and recipe is stressed on the first syllable, re. Come on, say it a few times with me. Receipt, recipe, receipt, recipe, receipt, recipe. Good job. Okay, let's move to the next pair of confusing words, and this is remainder versus reminder. I actually have a personal story with these two words that inspired this whole video. When I was in college, one day during my math class, the teacher was explaining an equation. One of my classmates, an Arabic speaker, raised his hand and asked a question referring to the remainder in the equation as a reminder. This slight mispronunciation made our teacher smile, and she told him that he was very funny. But he was confused because he didn't understand what he had done. By the way, if you're not into math or don't remember what a remainder is, don't worry. This is a common word and is not just used in math. Remainder is a part of something that's left over after the rest of the parts have been completed, consumed, or executed. In math is the number left over after subtraction or integer division, but as I said before, it's definitely not limited to math. For example, if you haven't finished eating your food in the restaurant, you can pack the remainder of it and take it home. For example, you can say, "I was in such a hurry that I gulped down the remainder of my coffee and left." Reminder is the thing that causes you to remember something. For example, you can set up a reminder for the speaking club meeting in your calendar. Oh, did I mention that I host 3 weekly speaking club meetings? You can sign up at my website. You can find the link in the description box below this video or on my channel page. And by the way, speaking of subscription, please subscribe to this channel if you're not a subscriber yet. Back to reminder. Here is an example sentence. "Hey, I'm just sending you a friendly reminder about the meeting today." Now let's talk about the pronunciation. The difference between the two words is in the vowel in the second syllable. Remainder is pronounced with a diphthong A as in main, and reminder is pronounced with another diphthong, I as in mine. The rest of the vowels in both words are reduced to a schwa. Now let's try this together. Remainder, reminder. Remainder, reminder. Good job. Okay, let's move on to the next pair, which is addition and addition. No, I'm not kidding. These are two different words, although you might think that I'm saying the same word. Again, the difference is only in the spelling, but the pronunciation is the same. Addition with the letter E is a particular version of a published text. For example, you can have a magazine's newest edition or a book's second edition. When it comes to a magazine, you can also say that this is its Italian, French, or Russian edition. An example would be, I love Vogue's Japanese edition this month. It has great articles in fashion. Addition with a name, the beginning, is something that is added to something else. It's used in math when you add one number to another. It can also be the birth of a new family member or a pet joining your family. For example, you can say, this puppy will be a cute addition to our family. As an example of effect and effect, the pronunciation of addition and addition is identical. The first vowel in both words is reduced to a schwa, followed by dish and another schwa. So you just need to be careful when you use these words in writing. When you see a new word and try to memorize it, I advise you to always look up the pronunciation as well. Learning the correct pronunciation from the get-go will give you clarity and confidence. Let me know in the comments if you have ever mistaken some of these words. Or maybe you have other words that are confusing to you. Put them in the comments so that others can learn as well. Let's share our knowledge. Did you enjoy this video? If you did, please click on the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done it. Also, is there anything specific that you'd like me to discuss in one of my next videos? Put it in the comments. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.